When someone asks me why I'm still single, I'm like, have you never used a phone with no service? You're either playing games or getting frustrated. That's like dating men, thank you.
Man can be in the worst position possible, and the only words you'll hear from his mouth is, I'll figure it out. And I promise you, he will find a way. He could have no idea how he's going to do it, but he will not place an ounce of stress on his lady. These men are the kings, and if you're his lady, you gotta be there to support him. Just support him. He still will probably refuse to give you any of the stress, but you can find ways to provide him the support that he needs. Believe it or not, there are some really good guys out there. Kind and respectful ones that still believe in dates, that are good communicators and have zero interest in games, who value commitment and are looking to build something with somebody. The thing is that you probably already know him, but he's not even looking your way unless you're kind and respectful and a good communicator and don't want to play games and value commitment and want to build something amazing with somebody. If you want it for yourself, you better look within yourself first.
Yeah, and I mean, those guys who are out there looking for those serious relationships, serious entanglements, looking to get involved with the divorce courts, and, deal with all of this crappery that is going on right now, they're becoming less and less, right? A lot of good men are looking at this and saying to themselves, yeah, I'm not going to bother, okay? Because the state of things right now is just absolutely ridiculous. And if people want to pretend like it's not pressed against men, then I mean, that's totally fine, but that's just not true. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be breaking down a couple of TikToks as well as looking at a few relationship stories. And you already know we actually have a very good relationship story today, guys, which I thought you would find funny. I'm just going to leak the title real quickly here. Saw my soon-to-be ex-husband's profile in a dating app and she's terribly upset about it. Now, guys, we're going to be taking a look at these TikToks, but before we do, make sure you subscribe if you're new here or you're liking the videos. As always, leave your thoughts below as we go through. And if you'd like to support the channel, guys, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. So if you're looking to become a supporter, that's a fantastic way to do it. And the link for that is somewhere below. But guys, we're just going to jump straight back into this first TikTok here.
Believe it or not,
And break it down together. So feel free to leave your comments as we go through, and let's see what she's got to say.
there are some really good guys out there. Kind and respectful ones that still believe in dates, that are good communicators and have zero interest in games, who
Yeah, those guys who are interested in commitment and who do dates and stuff like that, like I said, becoming less and less. Because you know what happens, guys? If you want to go out here, you want to show your commitment, take a lady on dates in 2021, what usually happens is they don't appreciate it. Okay, and there's a few reasons for that. One of them is that these girls get so much free attention, free validation, that the entitlement just goes through the roof. And anything you do that's positive for them, a lot of the time, guys, they just throw it back in your face. Like, I can't make video, guys. If I could sit here and make a video and say, oh, top 10 best date ideas to make a girl like you or whatever the hell, you understand that if I were to make a video like that, that all you'd be doing is shooting yourself in the foot. Like, I would be harming. If I told you guys to go out and do that, it would just make the situation worse for yourself, because a lot of these girls cannot appreciate dates, for number one. Number two, are not deserving of dates. Okay, too many times guys are out here being sold this idea that, your time and your energy is worth nothing. Oh, you should just be doing all of these kind things for a woman just because she's a woman. Guys, gone are the days of that, okay? These girls have been with dudes that pay $2 for some fries at McDonald's. That, like, I'm not even kidding, all right?
value commitment and are looking to build something with somebody. The thing is that you probably already know him, but he's not.
Oh yeah. So these, the guys who are looking to build something, looking to have relationships, who want to care for a girl, these good guys. Yeah, the girls know who they are. And let me tell you, what's going to happen is, if you're one of these guys, what's going to happen is she's going to know who you are, and she's going to keep you in the back pocket for a rainy day. Okay, so maybe she's upset, she'll reach out to you. Maybe she needs to be assured that you're still sticking around for a future meal plan. Excuse me. She's going to, what you are, guys, is you're essentially a reserve for some sort of her need, whether that's emotional, whether that's financial, or whether down the line when she's 40 and she needs someone to get married, so it looks like she can have a family. Maybe you'll get lucky then. And I use the phrase "get lucky" loosely because, again, by the time these girls get there, a lot of them have kids. A lot of them are single mothers. All right, now maybe not this girl in particular, right? I get the all police come to my channel. Oh, Taylor says all girls like this. No, all right, but a lot of them in the 21st century, 2021 guys, is like, a lot of these kind behaviors are no longer appreciated anymore, especially if you're not a good-looking guy. But that's something we'll get into maybe in a bit.
Not even looking your way unless you're kind and respectful and a good communicator and don't want to play games and value commitment and want to build something amazing with somebody. If you want it for yourself, you better look within yourself first.
We just ended off with the therapy advice that girls are going to watch this video and no girl is going to listen to this, right? Like those girls out there chasing Chad, nobody's going to listen, right?
A man can be in the worst position possible, and the only words you'll hear from his mouth is, "I'll figure it out." And I promise you, he will find a way. He could have no idea how he's going to do it, but he will not place an ounce of stress on his lady.
Yeah, whenever I watch videos like this, guys, it's really difficult not to be cynical, all right? Because the problem with these videos being made is like, they could appear to be on the side of men, but oftentimes they're not. Okay, oftentimes they're doing two things. One, they're garnering an audience, right? Because if a girl says anything that is pro men, what's going to happen is she's going to accumulate a bunch of guys who think that she's actually on their side. Okay? Like, she's probably come across like a channel like mine or anyone else's on this side of the internet and paraphrase the crap onto her videos kind of thing. And that's reason number one that I'm very cynical about these videos. Number two is that when young men watch these videos, they actually get indoctrinated, into a way of thinking, which is something I'd like to outline in this video.
These men are the kings, and if you're his lady, you gotta be there to support him.
Yeah, okay, and there it is. All right, let me guys just paint a picture for you for a second, okay? Let's just say you're a young guy, you're an impressionable guy. Maybe you haven't seen this crap or gone through this crap yourself, right? And you're out here thinking, well, I like this girl at my school. So you come across a video like this, and what's going to happen is you're going to listen to her, and you're going to think, oh, well, wait, a king, a good guy, a king, right? There's nothing bad about a king. A king provides for a lady. So what he's going to go out and do is he's going to, go to his crush and be the king, right? He's going to give her stuff. He's going to be nice to her. He's going to be polite. He's going to like show her a good time. Want to go on dates, like ask her on a date or something like that, right? And in 2021, guys, a lot of that behavior is straight up repulsive to girls. It's straight up repulsive. Like I said, these girls get so many messages and free validation in their inbox, guys, that what you end up becoming is just like another chump resource. Okay, there's nothing dangerous about you. There's nothing exciting about you. There's nothing that gets the butterflies going. You're just another predictable asset that she can pull out on a rainy day. And that's what young men are being conditioned to do, man. It's very sad. But guys, we're going to jump into today's story here. So I'm just going to switch the screens over and we're going to jump into a couple of today's Reddit stories. And, I found this one and I was like, oh my goodness, the guys are going to love it. Okay, so the title is, "Saw my soon-to-be ex-husband's profile in a dating app and I am terribly upset about it." Excuse me. So, it goes, "We live under the same roof while I'm sorting myself financially to move out. We have been separated since April 2021 and are not even on speaking terms. He didn't want to talk anymore. Only communication is through text. I have been checking on the divorce procedure and been looking to file it soon. No infidelity in the past. Getting divorced for incompatibility." Right? So let's just outline this real quick. So it looks as though, now I could be wrong, but it seems as though she's the one filing for a divorce and she's doing for it under the guise of incompatibility. Now, gentlemen, if you weren't aware, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys know, back in the day, you couldn't file for divorce over irreconcilable differences, incompatibility, whatever you want to call it, depending on where you live, I'm assuming. You used to not be able to do that, okay? And what happened is families were incentivized to stay together, okay? And you can only imagine that that was good for the health of the kids. Now, relatively recently in history, gentlemen, girls can file for divorce for irreconcilable differences just because they can end a marriage in a similar fashion to a relationship. Maybe she gets bored. Maybe she's not interested anymore. Maybe she falls out of love with you guys. And you're thinking to yourself as a guy, right? You're like, Wait a minute, how do you fall out of love with someone? Yeah, interesting, right? Um, they can do these things. Take half your crap, take the kids, and leave it there. Okay, and that's where we're at right now in 2021. And men are looking at this like, wow, nobody really sees this. Nobody really talks about it. Nobody really cares, right? And you get all these situations where these wives do this, and they just want to return to the streets. But guys, let's continue with the story here. Tonight, I was hanging out with my girlfriends, and one of the girls installed a dating app, and literally the seventh or eighth verified profile was one of my soon to be exes with model quality pictures and an interesting bio. It was very shocking and hurtful and pretty embarrassing for me. I thought I was over him and was pretty content with getting this divorce and was looking forward to my future. Since we live under the same roof, I know he dresses up and comes back at odd hours. I kinda assumed he was seeing girls, but ignorance was bliss. Now seeing this directly just shocked me so much. Is it okay for me to be upset and hurting about it, or am I still not over him? Not over him. And I'm sure many of you guys are laughing in your chairs right now, or wherever, maybe you're in bed or at work or something listening to this. Um, guys, when I talk on this channel and I say something like, girls are not necessarily attracted to positivity all the time. They're not attracted to positive emotions. Sometimes what they need is a little bit of anxiety. I'll get all these people come to my channel, man, and they'll be furious. They'll be like, "Oh, Taylor's telling us to treat women like crap. Taylor's telling us to do this. Taylor's telling us to do that." I'm not telling you guys to do anything. You can do whatever the hell you want with your relationships, all right? But what I am saying is this, is that girls in relationships, I don't care if she's 50, I don't care if she's 18, I don't care if she's 30, okay? For girls to fall in love, guys, they need a little bit of spice, they need a bit of anxiety. They need to feel like you're an asset that they can actually lose, all right? Now, for the men who are watching this and you've been in relationships, maybe long-term relationships, marriages, stuff like that, you know that when it gets to the point where she's bored or she feels like she can get you to do everything, or let me relate it to you like this. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were doing everything, and no matter what you did, it was never enough? No matter what chores you did, no matter what she told you to do, you did all of these things and it was never enough, and she cheated on you anyway? That's what's happening here, okay? Because when girls know that they have you, when they think that they've got you wrapped around their little finger and you'd do anything, you're boring. You're like a tamed little house pet that they keep around, right? They'll say that they love you to the extent that they need to say it to keep you around. That for the security. That's what they'll do, right? They'll give out these. See, girls weaponize love, all right? They use the word love to control men, okay? And what happens is guys will be in relationships and they'll be like, oh yeah, well she tells me she loves me. Meanwhile, she's just out here disrespecting you to your face, and you're just taking it for no reason, right? See, a lot of guys have been trained to do that as well, but we're kind of going to leave that story there, gentlemen. I thought it might be a bit of a laugh for you. Absolutely disgusting, as always. But guys, we're going to jump into another story here momentarily as I bring it up for us. And these stories, incredibly common. Absolutely incredibly common. All right. Now let me see which one I'm going to pick for us. Here's an interesting one. Oh, goodness gracious me. Actually, no, we'll go with this one. We'll go with a very sad one, actually, guys. This isn't funny at all. All right, so I'm just going to pull this up. Now, I can't include the title in here, but basically, this man's mother is no longer with him for whatever reason. Okay, she's no longer with us. If you can read between the lines, guys, I'm trying to keep discussions of that sort of thing out of YouTube to keep it YouTube friendly. Okay, but this guy, his mother is no longer with him, no longer around. Okay, and here's the situation. His girlfriend lives with him and she was sympathetic at first. Now she's sick of him being depressed. She's just plain rude and told him to get over it. It happens. Move on with your life or I'll move on without you. He can't. I was particularly close to them and now they're gone. I just don't know what to do. I have nobody to talk to. My girlfriend is tired of hearing me be upset. She doesn't remotely care. I should have gotten over it months ago and I'm acting like a child. I cannot even begin to understand her logic. It is so messed up. Funny, my boss didn't offer any sympathy either. He just tells me, yeah man, sorry, but that's life and I have a business to run and your performance is costing us money. Funny how selfish people are. Is she right? Is she right that I'm being a child and should move on? Now, guys, this is a situation where, look, I've highlighted this before on the channel. It is not a pleasant truth of people, okay? And it's one that kind of ruffles a lot of feathers, but let me just say this to you real quick, okay? If you're in a relationship with a girl, and it's you will notice that if you go through periods of hardship for any extended period of time, she's not going to want to stick with you. I don't care how emotionally supportive she says she is. I don't care how emotionally supportive girls say that they are in general. I really don't care because when it comes down to it, guys, a lot of times where you're in situations like this, maybe you lose a job, maybe a family member is no longer with you, maybe you're just going through a rough time. Um, you'll notice that nobody really gives a crap about men. That's what you'll notice, okay? In situations like this, nobody really gives a crap about men. What they'll say is they care. What they'll say is they'll always be there for you. How many of you have heard this? Oh, I'll always be there for you. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Now the reason why I'm pointing this out is because it's not an uncommon thing. All right, like it's not as if it's not as if there are just a few of us guys and we're just these hurt little men out here. No, it is actually a feature of human nature for girls to pull this crap. Okay, so to pretend otherwise, I think, is pretty insincere, to be honest. All right, but we're going to jump into today's last story here, gentlemen, and have a bit of a look at it. So, this is from a certain female Reddit, guys. You may be familiar with it, and the title is "The Clearest Display of If He Wanted to, He Would That I've Ever Experienced." A while back, I went on several dates with a man who works in the same facility as me, but has a different job. We met in passing one day in the building, and I began running into him more often over the next few weeks. I noticed that whenever there were lulls in our workdays, he would come to me to chat. We got to know each other on a surface level, and he eventually expressed interest in me, asking me for my number. The only time that we spent texting was to tell each other our schedules and for him to confirm date plans with me. It was wonderful. Thing is, this man works two full-time jobs. He spends about half of his time at the facility we both work at, and the other half working the same role at a different location. There are days where he works 18 hours between both jobs. He works 7 days per week, yet he still made time for me. He was clear about his intentions from the very beginning and pursued me accordingly. He would tell me how much he was looking forward to going out with me. I shouldn't even have to mention this. The bar is in hell. The conversations never took a inappropriate or otherwise inappropriate turn. He asked me a lot about my life and my goals for the future. He was extremely attentive and respectful. Unfortunately, we come from two very different walks of life, and there are some things that make us completely incompatible romantically. We both acknowledged that and moved on. I just wanted to share my experience because it was so refreshing. I'm in my early 20s and my dating experience is somewhat limited, but I'm happy that I finally got to see what it feels like to be pursued with an appropriate level of enthusiasm. It made me realize that I've never experienced someone being that direct and intentional before. I was really pleased with our lack of text communication. I find that a lot of guys my age want to be in constant communication over text, but in the past, doing this has made me more prone to creating an idea of someone that doesn't actually exist in real life. In this situation, having only relied on face to face conversation, it was far easier getting to know each other and seeing why things wouldn't work out. Now, let me point this out again, guys. So, this guy pursued her honestly and he did the right thing and stuff like that. You notice how they're not together? You notice how he did this and it didn't matter? Let's just ignore for a fact they're really ambiguous, coming from two different walks of life as an excuse not to date. And how about we just take it as the fact that they're not dating? Okay? See, a lot of these girls, what they want to do is like, they want to say, oh, he was nice, but, he looked like my brother. Or like, he was nice, but, I was standing in a field doing a rain dance, and a rain dance didn't happen, and rain didn't come, and also his star sign doesn't match mine, and I dug a water well and it had, and the stars weren't aligning, so we weren't together. Dude, I don't care what these girls say. I absolutely don't. The fact of the matter is, this guy, you pursue respectfully, you keep it respectful, you make your intentions very clear. And you know what happens about that kind of crap, guys? That kind of approach? You're boring. You're predictable. She knows that you want her. Okay? Meanwhile, guys, like, why these girls complain so much about direct behavior? And I mean, they just want a guy who's direct and they just want a guy who wants to commit and everything. Is because the men that they're attracted to are not out here doing those things. the men that they're attracted to, what they're out here doing is going, oh yeah, girl, I just want to see where this goes. You know, I'm not looking for like if something comes of it, it does, but I'm not too fussed if a relationship forms out of this. Those are the kinds of answers that they're getting when they meet up with guys. You see the difference? One of them is her chasing for commitment. The other one is him offering up the commitment for free. Gentlemen, let me kind of wrap up the video on this note, okay? Your commitment is not free. I don't care what society tells you. I don't care what your mum tells you. I don't care. I don't care who tells you anything, guys. Now you may look at me and you go, Taylor, you're just an animated little character on a screen. Fair enough. Okay, I would encourage you to go and test it yourself. If you want to be a guy going out there and giving up your commitment to these girls who, quite frankly, don't deserve it, just observe the difference in results. Okay, because you got these bad boys out here doing all of this crap. And meanwhile, you're just expected to sit here, be a good guy, and be that backup plan for when she's upset on a rainy day or when she turns 40. And that's kind of the situation that we're at, guys. But guys, I'm going to be releasing another video in a couple of hours. We're going to be covering a few more stories as well as probably a couple of more TikToks. And I'm just going to give you guys a sneak peek on the next story. So an ex that this guy met online ages ago, he found out that she looked terrible. And now he's completely over her. So guys, we're going to be taking a look at that story next time. But as always, leave your comments today, guys, what you thought of today's stories, what you thought of today's TikToks. Always interesting to see what you guys have to say. Make sure you subscribe on your way out. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. It's a fantastic way to get to support the channel. So if you're looking to do that, the link for that is somewhere below the video. But guys, we're going to leave it there. Apologies for the bit of a late upload today, guys. It just decided to stop recording while I was 15 minutes into the recording. But guys, we're going to leave it there. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.